Are Filipinos saving their money in banks? How do we encourage our people to save their money by depositing them in banks? Should savings be taught at home or in school? Tonight we are joined by Jay Amatong, Manager for Advocacy for the Bangko Sentral of the Bangko Sentral's Advocacy and for school children. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Robert. Good evening to all the televiewers of NewsLife.
So to start us off, can you tell us a little bit about the financial education program by the BSP with DepEd?
Well, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas program for financial literacy started when we had a survey in 2007 which indicated that 80% of Filipinos were unbanked. This was alarming to us because it means that a lot of the Filipinos have not taken advantage of the opportunities that banking services give them. So we were thinking, why not start with financial education for children? After all, you don't teach a man to swim when he's just about to drown. So we did.
So what is the main focus or goal of the BSP in teaching school children finance?
Well, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas believes in the strong influence that children have on the spending and savings behavior of the households. And so we thought it prudent to start educating them as early as age 6, at grade 1, all the way to the elementary grades, grade 6. And we've started developing lessons for elementary school children with the help of the Department of Education, of course. And these lessons into teaching guides, which we have distributed to 37,000 schools all over, public schools, public elementary schools throughout the country.
So what is actually being taught to the school children? We know finance is a very technical subject.
Well, these teaching guides have all these lessons that are integrated in 3 subjects of the elementary school curriculum. These are social studies, values education, home economics, and entrepreneurship. So lessons can range from the money that was used pre-Hispanic times, like the shells and such. And it can also include things like the characteristics of successful entrepreneurs and even basic inventory taking. So it's all quite interesting and all very laymanized for the children to imbibe.
So far, how is the reception of the teachers in teaching these kids as early as elementary finance?
Well, because these lessons have been developed by teachers themselves, so that the kids are very receptive to these lessons. And these lessons, as I said, are quite simple, and they might not even seem like lessons. Some teachers use song or rap or games to teach these financial lessons. And as far as we have been monitoring it for the past 2 years, we have been met with a lot of good responses from the teachers particularly. They ask us, why have you only started this today? This could have been very helpful to us when we were students.
So is the program also teaching the teachers on how to teach the students? Are the parents also included in this?
And we certainly understand that the lessons that you have in the classroom need to be reinforced at home and outside of the school. So what we did is develop a partnership with the Bankers Institute of the Philippines, and they've developed modules for personal finance for teachers and parents so that the lessons that children learn in the classroom, they can take home, and the parents and the teachers can support these lessons. So we've been doing that for 2 years now.
So what other programs in line with this is being implemented by the BSP?
Well, I've mentioned already the program, the Personal Finance Management Program seminar for teachers and parents, but we also have a Banking on Your Future program, which was developed with the Bank Marketing Association of the Philippines. At first, it was just for the banks, 12 participating banks, to initiate their own CSR programs for kids. But later on, it developed into these 12 participating banks coming up with an agreed mechanism for a kiddie savings account program, so making it easier for kids to open savings accounts.
So far, sir, how have you monitored this? Has this been very effective?
So far, since the launch of the kiddie savings account program in 2012, we've had more than 45,000 kiddie savings accounts opened. And that, I would say that that's quite a significant development.
So what's the reaction of the parents of these children when you said you also teach them a little bit of personal finance on how to save?
Well, initially, the parents were telling us, why are you teaching our kids? They don't have much money to save. But to our minds, kids are like a sponge. They imbibe all these values of savings quite quickly. So developing a habit for kids early on in their lives allows them to develop these skills later on when they start earning their income. And for the parents, initially the reaction we were getting was a bit of skepticism. But now I think they understand the value of teaching these lessons early on in the lives of their kids.
Sir, you mentioned in 2007 there was a survey saying that only 5% are actually saving. When you launched this program in 2007, have you seen any breakthrough or any increase in savings by these people? Their children or their parents?
Well, there are a number of surveys. First of all, there's the Citibank Financial Quotient Survey, which in 2007 said that the score of the average Filipino is about 47-point-something%, which is below half of the financial quotient that should be had, right? The latest Citibank Financial Quotient Survey says that we are 53%. So we are developing in some small way. And I think that's very important for a developing economy like the Philippines.
It's very interesting. Going back to the modules that you provide these schools, you were saying that you also teach entrepreneurship. You know, when we were young, we were also taught how to sell lemonade, sell all these. What is being taught to these children in terms of entrepreneurship?
Well, first of all, the characteristics of what makes a successful entrepreneur, the values of pagkamasino, pagkamatipid, and such lessons. In addition to that, more operational learnings like inventory, budgeting. So, of course, all these lessons are made simple for kids to understand. So it's not so technical in a way, but I think the point is getting across.
Are you also going to do this in a higher level, not only elementary?
Right now, we are concentrating on the elementary school, but we are exploring ways to expand the financial education program, not only for elementary school, but high school and maybe even college as well. So, of course, it takes a little time for us to develop programs for these, and we're building as we go.
You mentioned earlier you're partnered with several banks. Are you also trying to partner with the business sector in helping this program?
Well, right now, what we have partnered with the Department of Education and the banking sector. The latest partnership that we've had is with the university students. In fact, last year, we started with graduating students of the College of Accountancy and Finance of the Polytechnic University of the Philippines. Their graduating students had an outreach program which taught savings to kids, elementary school kids, in some selected private schools. And thus far, they have asked for our advice as to what they can include in the lessons. We've also given them materials for enhancing these learnings, materials like activity books, coloring books, savings rulers, and such. So we are going a little at a time, and hopefully we can reach out to more partners who have wider scope and can sustain these financial literacy activities with us.
And sir, finally, what are the next steps and how do you actually gauge the effectiveness of the program?
Well, the next steps is, like I said, we are looking for exploring ways of reaching out to a bigger population, because we in a developing economy like the Philippines, we need people who can manage finances better. So in the next few years, hopefully we'll be able to find these partners who will help us in this financial education campaign of ours. And we're hoping that surveys will tell us in the next few years that we are much better off at managing our personal finances as we develop as a country.
Okay, on that note, thank you very much for joining us tonight on NewsLife. That was Jay Amatong, Manager of the Advocacy for Bangko Sentral. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Robert.